Right, so if you haven't figured it out from my brief schedule there, a friend has persuaded me to do 140 kilometres straight off a 13-hour flight from Asia. I landed at about 5:30 in the morning. It's now 8:45 AM in the UK. I managed to get a bike and slap a power meter on it. It's not perfect, it's probably going to fall apart. I probably should have stayed in bed and had the rest of the day to get over some jet lag, but I did get some sleep on the flight, and actually now for me it's in Asia it'd be about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not a bad time to go for a ride if you look at it from that point of view. So we'll see how it goes. I've cobbled together some kit. I haven't had breakfast. I've got a headache, I think that's from the flight, and he's going to push me around 140 kilometres, so we'll see how we get on and try and get some footage of the ride. It's a beautiful day here. We've had quite a mild week in the UK, I think. Spring has come in. It's been in the 20s last couple of days. It looks like it's rained here a lot overnight, but it's warming up. It's around 16 degrees, so nice conditions for a long old spring classic, and we'll see how we get on. He featured in the last video. He was also having a piss in the last vlog. So. Coming up to one of the white horses. So that's it, just finished the ride, and my body doesn't really know what's happened to it. I am absolutely knackered, and I've got that weird, like, achy gut that you get after a long haul flight. I get a sort of like acid tummy and a headache. For the whole, the ride was 5 hours and 3 minutes, and some headwind for half of it, and then climbs in the second half. I didn't have much of a chance to kind of film whilst we were riding because, well, we were pressing on a bit, and I wanted to stay right on the wheel, and I just didn't want to get the camera out that much. But I am completely exhausted. 5 hours and 3 minutes and 147 kilometers, I think it was. And luckily, the bike didn't miss a beat. The CAD 10 with the power meter. There's some pretty sharp hills. The last climb, like the most famous climb, is called it's like Dragon Hill or White Horse Hill in a little village called Uffington. It's not very long, but it's really steep. And I was on the 3428 today. And I averaged up about 410 up the hill, and I was still grinding. So that shows you that it's probably quite steep. And then as you come over the top, it flattens out, but you come over the top and it's completely exposed, so there was a big headwind. But luckily that was the last climb, and then I just sat on my mate's wheel for the last 5k. I couldn't come through and do anything. So I'm gonna go in now, eat something. My body's gonna figure out what's just happened. I'm not gonna do a ride like that after a long haul flight again. But yeah, it's good to set yourself these crazy challenges sometimes and see what you're capable of. My heart rate was a little bit high for the power, but not too bad. The average wattage for 5 hours is 200 average wattage. Normalised power is going to be a bit higher. I imagine it's probably like 250, 260 normalised power. So for 5 hours, yeah, that's not bad. We were pacing the climbs. I was pacing the climbs around 300 watts for the first half of the ride, then we were upping it a bit in the second. Like the thing I realised, like with the tiredness and the fatigue, you think if you're tired and you start to exercise, you won't feel sleepy. But the first half of the ride, I actually felt, even though I was riding and cornering and doing turns, I actually felt like in my head I felt sleepy, almost like I was dozing off. And I did have to get a bit of caffeine in me, which helped. That definitely helped. But I felt like I ate more than normal for 5 hours. Even in the last 10k, I was trying to get through gels, and I started to cramp with about 20k to go. So yeah, crazy challenge, but you got to do these things. I'm going to go and sleep for probably 12 hours now. For me, it's 1 in the morning Asia time, so I'm quite tired now. I'm due some rest, so completely exhausted. Cheers.